Hi, my name is Nicole and this is my YouTube channel, Nicole Stitchtree. This is a podcast about slow making, knitting and sewing mostly. I'm coming to you from the Yagara and Turrbal lands of Mianjin, Australia. Today's video is sewing only, sewing sesh, and last week's video was knitting only, knit chat. So I hope you enjoy that I split up the content, but in the end I did that just for me, not really for you, because I couldn't be bothered editing any more really long videos. So that's why that's happened. I will refer to some things across all videos, so sorry if you're only watching the knitting or the sewing, and some stuff doesn't make sense. Okay, that clears that up. What I'm wearing today is the Tea House dress, yes, by Sew House 7, Tea House, Sew House, and I've done it in this, it was screaming out for colour blocking, but I thought I'd go a little different and do size blocking of the gingham. So I've got littles and bigs in the fabric store gingham. I forget what the blue colour is called. Is it duck egg maybe? Can't quite remember, but that's that. It's linen gingham and it's, yeah, a little crinkly, but that's the nature of linen. And I'll pop some pictures in so I don't have to stand up and show it to you. You'll see all my finished project pictures, which are much nicer. And I'm layering it today with this True Bias Nico top, long sleeved Nico top. Which has like a mock turtleneck in that it doesn't actually roll over, but it still looks like a turtleneck. I made this one before heading off to Tasmania because I wanted something warm to layer underneath. And I found it's perfect actually with this dress, not only because the color is just exactly the same, perfection, but when it's just a little bit cooler. I don't like to wear any of my cardigans or jumpers over this dress because of this sort of sleeve with the dolman cuff or dolman sleeve. I don't know exactly what the real term is, because that doesn't really feel great when it's all scrunched up. So layering this underneath has been the perfect solution. And at the moment the weather has been really kind of rainy and drizzly, not super pleasant here, but the sun's out for a short time and the birds are out, spring is coming. So yeah, that's what I'm wearing today. I feel like I had something else to say. Can't remember now. Let's just have a little bit of news and catch up with me then. Okay, so a little bit of news from me this past week since my last video. I got my COVID vaccination, my 4th jab, so that's the 2nd booster, I suppose. Or is it the 4th booster? I get confused. Anyway, I just had that yesterday. My arm is really sore. And then I went to work afterwards, you know, playing viola, and that kind of made it worse, I'm pretty sure. And I got the all over body aches and sensitive skin that I would normally get from the flu. So I was feeling pretty crappy last night, but I'm feeling quite a bit better today. So yeah, that's where I'm at now. Also, I'm having a little bit of a hair crisis. My fringe is getting far too long, but I can't be bothered going to the hairdresser. I really should, because I cut it myself last time and it just doesn't quite sit right. I hope to go next week when I'm in Sydney, and get that fixed up and, you know, get the rest of my hair trimmed a little bit because it's not the best at the moment. Any other news from me? Oh, we've been on tour for work, so went to Gimai, Cairns on the weekend, and it was rainy and miserable there, and our concert got cancelled. So that wasn't the best tour, but I did a lot of knitting. So it's fun to go on tour and have a little bit of a knitting retreat. But I'm glad to be back home and with my machine, because next week, not this weekend, but the weekend after, and obviously I'm releasing this video at a different time. So anyway, next weekend I'm going to a wedding and the dress code is black tie attire. So I'm super excited. I'm making a floor length dress. I'll talk all about that in my whips portion of the video. So let's start off with finished objects. I finished another Megan Nielsen Jarrah sweater. Remember I showed this in one of my fabric acquisitions. This Liberty loop back, it's called, because it's got the type of backing. It's like not a fleece, it's loop back. So that's a Liberty print there that I got from the fabric store, and I paired it with this merino for the ribs. I think the color is brick. I'm pretty sure the color is brick, but I think that ties in nicely with the Liberty print. You might remember last time I did a Jarrah sweater not that long ago. So I must like this pattern quite a lot because I pretty much made this one straight after. The seam allowances were only 1/4 of an inch, 6 millimeters. So I found it like I couldn't overlock them. It was fine because the fleece didn't fray or anything, but I wanted to overlock this one and just have it a bit neater on the inside. So I increased the seam allowance by 1 centimeter, so there could be 1.5 centimeters. But in the end, not in all areas, because I didn't have quite enough fabric to do that. And my God, I can't believe I didn't get confused when I was actually making it, because some pieces I'd done with, you know, the 1/4 of an inch seam allowance, and others I'd done with the 3/8 of an inch. So 6 millimeters versus 1.5 centimeters. I made the same view. I think it's view C with the tie front. Love it. Even though there is a wrong side to this fabric, I still love doing that tie front. Yeah, and this has become like, I wear it so much. I really, really love it. Love the relaxed silhouette of the Jarrah sweater. So that's my second one, and I'd love to make more, except that I haven't found more sort of sweatshirting fabric that I want to use yet. So that's that. And also I managed to do twin needling on this one, which I couldn't quite do on the other one because of the tiny, tiny seam allowance. So I could overlock it and then twin needle the neckline really nicely. And of course I popped in a Kylie in the Machine label, not for sale. I generally choose my labels based on the color, so I match the color to what I'm doing. Yeah, so that's my first finished object. My second one is a little too heavy for me to lift and show you. So I'll pop in some pictures or some footage or something of it. It's the Closet Core Poof. So it's like a quilted sort of pattern. You make all the pieces for the top and the side, and then you join it, and you stuff it with all of your fabric scraps. And I've been saving fabric scraps for years and years, like probably 3 or 4 years. I have so many, and they didn't all fit. I probably should have made a bigger size, like scaled it up at the printers. I do like the size of this one though, in terms of how it sits in my room for decor. People say that it does deflate a bit after a little while because, you know, the scraps kind of get all pushed together, which is great. So I might be able to fit a few more in there. Yeah, I really love it. It's such a cute little project. I'm looking at it, it's just over there. It's such a cute little project, and I feel really great about not sending my fabric scraps to landfill. So that's my other finished project, and it feels so great doing it because it's been on the list for ages. It really freed up space in my sewing room. There aren't big tubs of scraps anymore. They're all contained in a pretty little poof. So yeah, I'm really happy with that. They're my 2 finished projects since last I shared some sewing talk. So now on to whips, and I mentioned it before, but I'm making a dress, a floor length dress for the wedding I'm going to in 1.5 weeks from when I'm recording this. And unfortunately, I'm also going on tour tomorrow for like 3 days, so I don't have time to sew it then. And I really want to finish it before I go away for the week of the wedding. So I'm leaving on Monday and the wedding is on Saturday. And I think if I could just have some hand sewing of the hems and whatever to do during that week, that'd be great. But right now it's Wednesday. I'm going away tomorrow. I'm coming back Saturday and I need to have the dress finished by Monday pretty much. Yeah, wish me luck. Also because I have quite a bit of work, like I can't do any more sewing today. Yeah, so I don't know if I'll finish it. I'll show you first the toile that I made. Not that it shows that much, but I made a toile because the fabric was kind of expensive, and like my final fabric, and I also hadn't made any patterns by this company before, so I'm using the pattern the Anna dress by Hand London, and it's got these beautiful pleats in the front, which I really like, and grown on sleeve, which I like even more. I don't know if I've told you all about how much I love a grown on sleeve, because I don't like setting in sleeves. I love to have a sleeve, I don't like to sew a sleeve. So this is like the perfect compromise to that. And there's a thigh high slit. I toiled only the normal length dress, but the final one will be all the way to the floor. Great, it's gonna look really good, I hope. This fit really nicely, which is such a relief, so I didn't have to make any adjustments. I did straight off on the pattern, according to my measurements, grade out one size from my bust measurement to my waist. So I really struggle with a bigger waist measurement than the rest of my body. Yeah, I bloat a lot, and also that's just where my lumps and bumps are. So I graded out, and I think that's perfect. It's a smidge tight around the waistband, but in my final fabric, I'm sure it will relax, because anything I make in this crappy toile fabric ends up working out just a lot looser in my final fabrics. So that's the Anna dress by Hand London. And I'll show you where I'm up to at the moment with that. And this is all done this morning, actually. I cut out the pieces yesterday afternoon and the rest of the pieces this morning, and then just made a start on the bodice. It's very, very drapey, to the point where I was kind of worried when I was cutting it that I wasn't cutting the right shapes. You can't really see the pleat details obviously as nicely, but I think that it'll just give it that beautiful blouse on effect. Yes, so I would love to finish the bodice today. We'll see. I've got work this afternoon and this evening, so that's probably silly, but maybe before I go on tour I can finish the bodice, and then when I can come back on Saturday and Sunday I can do the skirt, join to the bodice and put in the zip, and then I'll be ready just to do hand sewing on when I go away. Although I'm staying with my sister in Sydney before I go to the wedding in Tamworth, so I should be able to use her sewing machine if I'm really stuck. But I have a little thing about cutting fabric. I need to then sew it straight away. I feel paranoid that it's going to stretch or warp. So I did actually stay stitch the neckline of this pattern, even though it's not required in the instructions, and I also understitched it. And I don't know why that's not in the instructions either, but anyway, I'll talk more about this beautiful fabric in a second, because I haven't shown it to you yet, but it is a new fabric I've bought since my last sewing video. So yeah, isn't it pretty? I can unfold some a little later and show you better. That's my first whip, and kind of a whip on a deadline. Do you think I'll get it done? Do you think I'll be wearing a fabulous dress for this wedding? I sure hope so. My other whip, so I started this before I realized I should have already been doing that dress for the wedding. So this one's gonna be a little while to finish. I don't often have a whip that I leave lying about. As I said, I like to just finish things. This is going to be a Nephiline blouse, or Nephiline blouse by Vivian Xiao Chen, I think is how you say, or what the name is. So you can see I've joined the fronts and backs. I've done that button placket. I haven't done the buttonholes yet. and I French seamed it because obviously it's sheer, so that just takes twice as long for everything. But I think I'm gonna love this for work. Again, I've stay stitched the neckline just to be sure. The sleeves, if you haven't seen this pattern, I'll post it in the picture here. The sleeves, I can't wait to do these sleeves with the tucks. It's going to look amazing. I kind of reached a sort of stopping point because I need bias binding to go around the neckline. I'm doing view B, but I'm not going to do the ruffle because I don't really want to do a ruffle in this fabric. And I'm also not really convinced that I'll enjoy that on me as a garment detail. So I'm just going to bias bind this whole neckline. And so I went to the fabric store to get more binding, and I ended up getting a bunch of other stuff as well because they were having a bit of a sale. So I'll show that now, what I got from the fabric store. So I went in for bias binding and I came out with 2 things other than bias binding. So I did pretty well there. I got a remnant, so I don't think that really counts. And I got some black merino. I got so much. Look how much black merino I got. This was 50% off, which is why I got it. I want to make another Nico top by True Bias, so I can layer it under these sort of like floaty work pieces for when it's cold. Because again, a sleeve like that is not going to work with a cardigan layered on top or a jumper layered on top. So I thought I'd layer underneath with a Nico top. And then as I was buying it, I thought, well, I should make my brother a shirt as well. And maybe me, just a plain black tee. So I bought, how many meters? 2 meters. It's a super wide roll. So this is 2 meters and it's really heavy and I think I'm gonna have enough. It's merino with a bit of tencel in it, which is kind of exciting. It's got a nice soft feel and it's thick enough to feel durable. So that's what I got from the fabric store, along with the binding. And I also got this remnant. It says it's a cotton elastine sateen. And I remember seeing this on the bolt in the store and really liking the colors, but not really sure what I would use the fabric for because it's kind of thick. And it's just something I've not really come across. I don't know, like it's just kind of, it's not stretchy, but it's thick and it feels sort of like, my friend who was with me at the time, Shannon, was like, oh, it feels kind of like deck chair fabric. And then I got the idea, why don't I use this remnant to make cushions for our outdoor couches, which we just got. So that's what this is going to be, possibly if Michael also likes the color. I think they'll make really cute cushions. And I love these colors. If not, if he doesn't like that, then I don't know what I'm going to do with it. Maybe I'll try a top. I feel like it'd come out quite structured. So something like the cielo top or cielo top. I don't know how to pronounce it. I've actually got the pattern ready. The cielo top by Closet Core with the big sleeve. I think that could look pretty cool in something structured like this. So those are my plans for those fabric store buys. All right, I'll talk more about the wedding dress fabric now that I bought. I bought it from My Design in, I think she's got a shop, online shop. I think she's based in Naarm, Melbourne. So she sent me some samples and she always does. I think it's so cool. So there's a recycled polyester and spandex sports lycra, which is very cool. I don't really make sportswear, but that was super interesting. So cool to get a sample of that. And also this Lady McElroy cotton lawn. And I have been wondering about cotton lawn and what it's like. So it's nice to see it and feel it in the flesh, even though maybe this isn't the fabric that I would get. Love that she includes samples. Also on that, she also sent me this little like tape measure, which is always super handy, more so for my knitting than anything else, but beautiful leather case on this tape measure with a leather pull tab. So really, really happy with those little extra goodies in my order. And now I'll get to the real stuff. What I ordered from my design is mainly the wedding dress fabric. So the dress for this wedding, I'll just stretch it out. Here it is. This is Lady McElroy Viscose Chalet Lawn. Now, is it chalice or chalet? I think it's chalet because it seems like a French word. Anyway, it's really flowy and drapey, as you saw from when I was trying to hold up my bodice earlier, my bodice pieces. So I think it's going to look amazing. I hope so anyway. I do feel like there is a right side up, just based on these flower stems here. So these flowers, they feel like they've got stems on them. So I have tried to orient the fabric this way in my cutting so that it's right way up, even though you probably can't even tell. So I had to get 4 meters of this for that dress pattern because it's floor length. So that hurt a little bit, but not too much because I've been saving up for a little fabric splurge for a little while. And it's just truly beautiful fabric. I wanted to get free shipping though, so I got another fabric at the same time. Let me just fold this up nicely. The pattern the pattern is called Secret Garden. So I'll just say that again. Lady McElroy Viscose Chalet Lawn, and this is Secret Garden, which I just think is so cute. So my mother-in-law was with me when I was trying to pick fabrics for this dress, and I showed her this one and another one that had like hydrangeas on it, and she was like, oh, definitely the hydrangeas. And then I got this one. It's very busy, much busier than the hydrangea one I was thinking about getting, but I think I just love the colors. I just couldn't stop thinking about all these colors and, you know, florals and stuff. So that's exciting, but I do hope I finish that. Otherwise, do you think I should bring a backup dress to this wedding, or should I just trust myself that I'm going to finish that? Okay. So the other fabric I got so that I could get free shipping from my design was another Lady McElroy, and the color pattern is called Heather Sage Poppy. I always want to say Heather Sage Poppy, but it's Heather with no E. Heather Sage Poppy. Oh, I've got it upside down, sorry. And it's just got these faces and the poppies, and I just love the colors. I love how it's got a bit of an oriental feel with the type of pattern, and I want to make a closet core Calais shirt with the mandarin collar, which I've made before. So I'm excited about that, and I got free shipping. So super happy. This one's a cotton lawn. So, I mean, I got the sample of cotton lawn and then I got actual cotton lawn. So I'll let you know what it's like if you've not sewn with cotton lawn before. I don't know if I have sewn with cotton lawn actually. But I mean, just look at that with the beautiful colors and the faces. Happy, very, very happy. It's always fun when new fabric comes. And then, the final one of my new fabrics is something that I've been wanting forever, since it came out. So there's a fabric company called Indie Bindi that is based in Canberra, and she stocks a lot of Japanese fabrics. And I basically died over this, but it was really expensive and I couldn't really afford it at the time when we were saving for a house. So I just, it just lived in the back of my head, wondering if I would ever get it. And then she had a sale. So I was so happy to actually get some of this truly, truly stunning fabric. It's called Zarigani, which means crayfish, because obviously lobsters, baby. And look at the teeny tiny lobsters as well. So we've got big lobsters, we've got little lobsters, and I love crayfish. Like, I love shellfish, prawns, lobsters, scampi, Moreton Bay bug. So I'm so excited to have this fabric now. It's really, really beautiful. It has such a beautiful feel. It's a 85% cotton and 15% linen. And the designers are called Kata, the Japanese designers. And I want to use this selvage in some way when I make what I'm going to make with this fabric, because I just think it's so special. Kata 2016, made in Japan. And I got their little business card, and I hope that when we go to Japan in January, if we go to Japan in January, if it opens up, then I will go to their store and see what else I could get. So that's the lobster fabric that I'm super excited about. And I think I'm going to make, this is why I had this pattern ready, the cielo top with the sleeves. I think it's just simple enough to showcase a lot of the patterns, so like not a lot of pieces, so you can see a lot of the pattern, but with some detail, and the voluminous sleeves I think will look good in this fabric too. So that's that for my new fabrics, and that's then pretty much it for the video today. I hope that I didn't ramble too much, and that everything I said made sense. Yeah, it's funny filming it all in one go. But yes, let me know, do you think I'm going to finish that dress for the wedding before I leave, or should I bring a spare dress, a backup dress? All right, that's it for me. I hope that you're having a lovely week, and that you're getting some time to sew the things that you want to be sewing. And if you're not, that you've got some time to daydream about what you want to be sewing. That's me done for today, and I look forward to hearing any comments from you down below. And you can always find me on Instagram and slip into my DMs. I really enjoy hearing from sewing friends on Instagram. So that's that. Have a lovely week, and bye-bye.